Napoleon said that the question of the day shall not be solved by just mere resolutions and speeches of the majority, but by blood and iron. With that statement that I borrowed from Napoleon, I was inspired. I said to myself that I will have Uganda at the developmental apex at all stages. We have addressed unemployment, which is a very big problem in Uganda, but we have looked at skills as a major solution to some of these challenges. At least each and every Ugandan have a skill. You won't die as a poor man. You can do something great for yourself, for your family. My name is Bob Mahe. I'm the director of Uganda Youth Skills Training Organization and the founder. This is the village I live in. It is called Mapera Navaragara. We have many problems that are not leading us to having a desirable living in our society. We don't even have a good water in the village. Youth don't have anything to do. Always, in most cases, are caught in robberies at night. They need support to be helped so that they can break that yoke of vulnerability, which is becoming a chain among our communities. I'm born from Chiruhura district. We grew up from a poor family which was not able to look after us. That I was the oldest person in the family. I used to do hard work or several jobs to raise money such that it could help me to go for education. That work was involved a lot of problems like fetching water from longer distances, moving at night in late hours, collecting firewood, looking after my brothers. When I was young, we used to come here and pick these things and make good cards. We used to put them on a piece of wood or a plywood. We make designs or we write people's names using these things and sell them to people. Although I could get little money, I could buy something to eat out of them. I specialized in technical education because I looked at it as the way of earning a living. Because in Uganda, we have a very big problem of people who study, but at the end of the day, you find them moving along the streets looking for the jobs, but they cannot find the job. They move even reaching at the extent of the shoe sole to reduce its thickness because they are looking for the jobs, but it is because they don't have anything that they can use as a practical, as a skill to help them attain the job. I myself, I specialized in carpentry, but I have learned many things. I have learned tailoring, I have learned to do the brickwork or to lay the bricks, but I did not learn from schools, but it was because of the situation that was putting me into such an environment where I saw that maybe at one time they could help me to earn money. Actually, the importance of having an idea, you get inspired within you, because an idea is like you may be having a passion, but again, the passion should move with being creative and innovative. So when you have an idea, you will find yourself, you will be inspired to give it out to people. These ideas take people at a certain level. It is not everyone that puts down the idea. If you don't put your idea into action, you end up dying with it. So when you put much emphasis, when you sacrifice other things and you use the little money you have, you may see people following you. Yes, this is Bob, Uganda Youth Skills Training Organization. You want blockboards? Yes. 15 of them. How much is one? The idea of initiating Uganda Youth Skills Training Organization was my initiative, and it was after finding out that in our societies there was no any organization that would offer skills and other services to the communities. Though we had government technical institutions, the people paying the school fees required would be much for people in our communities. So I decided to initiate this such that we can provide these skills to the communities at free of charge, to have a well-trained, equipped community with skills and empowered communities. This idea, it was got in 2004 and put into action in 2007. Taking up this idea or putting it into action was not very simple, since you know that taking up something there must be funds. Earlier on we said that we have to identify the surface of the board we need to work with. You know it very well. That before working on the board there is a surface you need, there is an edge you need, and there is a thickness you need, and there is the width of the body you need. I was able to reach out to other people in communities who bought my idea and were able to help me to put this idea into action. But with time, we ended up putting in some other resources, committing ourselves, sacrificing the little money we had to push it up, and at the end of the day, we succeeded with putting it into place. Uganda Youth Skills Training Organization has a small office, but we are using that particular office to train many people, to link up to many workshops in our societies. We rent those workshops and collect people from societies and train them from there. We help them to link up with cooperative or smaller banks, and they help them to take off or begin their own small workshops. We have reached to many women, widows. They come and acquire our skills. We help them to initiate small businesses. They have done something great and they have looked at their families. Uganda Youth Skills Training Organization has many partners which are supporting it. They give us equipment and training materials, but they don't help us to get taxes and money for shipment. We mobilize and collect the tools from them, and we fulfill our commitment of helping the societies. Carpentry is a valuable trade in Uganda. Uganda has good trees that produce good products or good articles that people get admired to buy and use them. Its emphasis in our youth, I think it is going to uplift or to address some of the challenges like unemployment. During 8 years back, we have trained many people, carpenters, who have used their skills to make jobs and earn money. They have initiated bigger workshops where they have trained even other people, and then the skills are being multiplied, and my vision is being achieved.
I'm called Kasaja Andrew. We started a small carpentry workshop. We are trained by Uganda Youth Organization in this carpentry, and we got skills from that organization. Mr. Bob helps us with some little money to build up this carpentry workshop. We have some few tools to use. Before I was trained by Mr. Bob, we were very poor. We could not take our children to school. Even my friends whom I work with, we were very poor actually. Now we gain money and we use them to pay school fees for our children. We buy food for our own use, and we have helped others also. We train children who drop out of school in this place.
We have talked to government authorities, telling them that we need to work together to bring this issue of helping the children, of helping younger people. They are the future leaders. Uganda Youth has done something great in achieving some of the objectives of Millennium Development Goals. The other time we did not finish our work, but today we want to make sure that the work is finished. And I'm expecting each and every person or each and every group complete their work. Uganda Youth Skills Training Organization is put into place. We train all the stages of people. That is, people in schools, people in communities, and even those who have finished their education from universities. Now here we are at a primary school where we are offering skills from Uganda Youth. We have to come up with any step that can provide them with skills which can help them to stay a better life in the future. We want you to help us measure this gentleman because we needed to make a sport shot for him. The time we joined this school, these people had nothing in regards any skill. So what we did, we started training these people. A child will be able to make or to produce a short, a shirt, skirts, or any garment out of the clothes once is put before his or her sewing machine alone. Some of the problems we find with these people that some of them come from areas where it has flooded and they are not able to close to come. Some do not have school fees, as you know that this is a school and we decided to work with schools, so some do not have school fees, they end up dodging. We are finishing our skirt. And another problem we find as an organization, parents, they don't want to send their students to come and study. Parents themselves think that someone who is running this is dull, and yet it is not the case. And we have solved that problem by moving at the grassroots. In our outreaches, we go there and convince them and tell them that a skill is an asset. We talk to them that, you see, this one is good for your child. Alongside the other thing, we don't again advise them to let them go out of the type of education. We tell them, you move it along, intervene, you just mix, integrate. And in case of any problem, if they keep on dropping, they can become their own job makers. Those who have benefited from our organization here at Queen of Peace Primary School, over 1,000 since we began, because each and every year we train over 200. However, we are not working with Queen of Peace Primary School alone, we are working with other many schools. Uganda Youth Skills Training Organization has been able to identify some of the solutions to the problems. We have also helped people to know about HIV/AIDS, which is a general problem in the whole world. Environmental protection in Uganda youth is being looked at in a perspective way, but in communities we let them to understand the dangers of throwing polythene papers everywhere in the environment. We also ask them to plant trees at a small level because there is no big land in slums, so we ask them if there is a small part where they can put one tree, the better. We have over 45 volunteers and a few staff who are reaching out to communities, letting them to know or to get acquainted with our programs.
My name is Masede. I work at Uganda Youth as an administrator. I joined the Uganda Youth Skills Training Organization 2012. Started working as a volunteer in HIV and reproductive health area. Those with HIV, we do counsel them and we rehabilitate them to take informed decision on how to go on with life.
ne gawunya ebintu ebisaaniko ne biregamawo kati mu nkuba eba etonnya nze kennyini.
People still have stigma on the point of HIV. We team up with different institutions to see that at least we reach out to different people at different stages, both awareness and treatment and also skills. So all those things we do them together or jointly with different partner organizations. This woman came to reach our organization through a client who had visited us before and encouraged her to come. She reached to us when she was in tears, when she was totally disorganized, having lost the husband. Now, through counseling and talking to counselors, she was empowered to open up and to say that I think I need to continue with life. She was also helped by Uganda Youth in the area of skills to get the tailoring machine, helping her to get sugar, to get food, and to see that at least she continues with life.
My name is called Muhammad Sentam. I'm working as the area chairman of this place, and the zone is called the Rubia zone because simply so many people of this area they are very poor, who have no help by any organization. Some of the residents they sleep without eating anything. Let me take this opportunity to thank Mr. Bob, the leader of that organization, because he has tried his level best to see that he helps the community. He looks for some funders from outside who will normally give some little help, and when he gets that little help, he just brings back to the community so that the community gets some assistance from them.
Uganda Youth Skills Training Organization does not work with Bob alone as the idea initiator, but managed by General Assembly, which sits every end of the year. We have employed youth and women who are helping us to reach out to people in communities with our skills, outreach programs, sensitizations. Ladies and gentlemen, members of Uganda Youth Skills Training Organization, we have held this meeting here purposely to see how best we can help people in communities. Like any other organization and initiatives has also experienced challenges. Some of the challenges that we met, lacking enough fund, people convincing them to buy the idea was not all that simple, or to follow up the project was not all that simple. Come back home when I'm tired. It's because I have to work for my family and I have to put much emphasis so that my family can be okay. A man makes a family with a lady with the purpose of fulfilling his roles of providing security and guiding. If you have an extended family, you find that you are being surrounded by all houses. In regards to someone coming and attacking you, that person cannot succeed, because you have got security which is surrounding you. So you will have now played the role in regards to the religion that you have the family.
Shake it for Africa, do it for Africa.
In general, I'm looking at myself as someone who is having a bright future, as someone who is focused to take Uganda at a certain step, as someone that is addressing youth challenges in Uganda and hoping to do this in other countries. Of course, we cannot wake up early in the morning and we achieve what we are intending. We achieve objectives within a short period of time. We need resources. Recently, we were proposing to have a model training center. This is something great. This is something that I have in my dream. At the moment, Uganda Youth Skills Training Organization attains model training centers in all of Uganda. From Uganda, we cross to Ethiopia, we cross to Kenya, we cross to Egypt, we cross to Southern Sudan. We would wish to partner with international organizations such that they can see the value we are creating. We would wish to have international donors. We want to have those people who can also be proud of us. So with what we have created under Uganda Youth Skills Training Organization, I'm sure we are taking steps and slowly we are going to reach far. With the combined effort, bones are broken down.